Early Sunday morning around 4, the Nelson family woke up to knocking on their door. It was their neighbor with an urgent message.
He had found my wife's wallet outside, and he was bringing it back to us.
It turned out some of the family's personal items had been strewn across the street. Meanwhile, their Lexus had been stolen from their driveway, their Jeep gone from this parking spot across the street.
We immediately dialed 911.
Prince George's officers soon arrived to their home at the Retreat at Fairwood Subdivision in Bowie. But not before the Nelsons made one last discovery. The thieves had cut the wires to their security cameras to get inside their home undetected. They ultimately stole packed luggage for the Nelsons' upcoming move to Germany. This video of the thieves entering their home is from the Nelsons' neighbors.
Very alarming to know that there were people in your home while you were sleeping. You know, you really need to be cautious and do your due diligence.
Not including the cars, the Nelsons think they lost at least $10,000 in personal property.
The things that were taken and that were damaged were replaceable. My wife, my daughter, myself, were safe.
Now, police say they had impounded an abandoned car in connection to this case, but have not made any arrests. Meanwhile, Nelson told us that that was his family's Lexus, and that an officer had actually recently informed him that 3 juveniles had been taken into custody. John Henry, WUSA 9.